Peace, fam. Welcome back to HarkTheHerald.com. This is Brother Harold. Once again, remember to please like, subscribe, and also share. And once again, we're going to get right into it.
Welcome to another edition of Business Africa. I'm your host, Afolake Oinloye. The top stories this week. A new initiative under the Pan-African Payment and Settlement System, PAPS, aims to boost trade, improve liquidity, and drive a unified capital market across the continent. A Zimbabwean innovator has developed groundbreaking technology that uses radio waves from the sun to power vehicles, challenging traditional energy systems. As insecurity and rising costs threaten economic stability in Nigeria, experts call for urgent government intervention. Africa is making a significant stride towards financial integration with the launch of the African Currency Marketplace by PAPS. This platform will facilitate direct currency exchanges across the continent, reducing dependence of US dollar and...
You know what this would do for Africa? It's long overdue. It's what, Muammar Gaddafi was trying to do, decades ago, was unite Africa and have their own currency, a central currency. And what this would do would free Africa from European and American control, giving them more independence and releasing them from, American and European influence. Because he who controls your money controls the country, controls the economy. You saw that every time that America disagreed or they wanted to demonize or ostracize a African leader, prime minister, or president, they would freeze their accounts, holding billions of dollars. So this is what happens when you have your money in their banks. They control it, and if they feel some kind of way against you, then they'll just freeze it, prohibit you from having or deny you access to your own money. See, that's devilish. And so this is what America and Europe does. So when we see these economies collapsing over in Africa, you're thinking that it's just Africa, and the leaders are what America is calling dictators or demonizing them. It's really America and Europe, right? Freezing and locking up the funds, because they disagree. This is what America's been doing and Europe's been doing. Anybody that they disagree with, because America and Europe, they're greedy. Their God is money. So they'll take it, they'll rob, and they'll steal, and they'll plunder, as they have been doing since they've been in existence. So this is good for Africa. So, I'm really happy to see this taking place, man. And I pray for the success, because success for them is also success for us here, Because when Africa becomes free, then we'll also be free, with our connection and our unity as a people globally, here and over there and worldwide. We need it, It's the one thing that kept us in the predicament and the condition that we've been in, has been our lack of unity. But enough on that. Let's get back to what y'all came here for.
Fostering the development of the unified African capital market. Have a look.
The Pan-African Payments and Settlement System, supported by 15 central banks, is launching the Africa Currency Marketplace later this year. This platform, which integrates with 150 commercial banks, will enable direct exchanges of African currencies, bypassing the need for intermediate currencies like the US dollar. Currently, Africa's foreign exchange markets rely heavily on local and hard currency pairs, often forcing businesses to first convert to dollars for cross-border transactions. The new system will improve liquidity and boost trade across regions, with historically limited foreign exchange depth. For example, an Ethiopian airline selling tickets in Nigeria could exchange its naira earnings directly with a Nigerian company operating in Ethiopia using the birr. This solution is expected to reduce currency volatility and shortages, enhancing trade efficiency across the continent. Experts view this initiative as a key step towards creating a unified African capital market, offering businesses new borrowing and investment opportunities across all 54 countries.
Joining us to discuss this initiative is Stan Zeze, CEO and Chairman of Bloomfield Investment. Thank you for joining us on the show. Stan, tell us how this initiative will impact liquidity and currency stability across the African financial market.
The biggest challenge that we had in this continent with regard to trade among African countries is because the currency are not compatible among each other. So it was the biggest challenge. One of the reasons why we can see that the inter-African trade was so low. Now that an African country or African businessman and woman can trade among countries without going through a third-party currency like euro and dollars, it's going to make it so much easier to increase the trade relationship between countries. The second thing is, through this platform, businessmen or businesswomen in Ghana will be able to borrow in Nigeria, will be able to borrow in Cameroon, in Cote d'Ivoire, and so forth. So this enlarges the possibility for the financial market for business person on this continent. So this is a first step towards having a single currency on this continent.
What are the anticipated challenges in implementing this system?
I think one of the challenges that I see in implementing this system will be the challenge of connection, the continent and electricity. But, and again, those are challenges that we can overcome.
That's right.
Because energy and digitalization has been a priority for countries in the continent, because they believe that this is what's going to allow Africa to make that leapfrog. So obviously, a lot of investment have been made in these two sectors, and then this will certainly reduce that challenge. But that could be one of the biggest challenges that I see in implementing this platform.
Now, could this initiative accelerate the development of a unified African capital market? And what role can rating agencies like Bloomfield Investment play?
What would be the best thing for Africa is to have one capital market. And that one capital market will actually create a big capital market for all companies in Africa and all countries in Africa. Imagine 54 countries. One financial market for 54 countries, which means that for each country will be a possibility of borrowing from 53 countries. And then for companies, it will be an endless market. And of course, credit rating agency will play a great role in this new configuration, because to access capital, you have to establish your credit worthiness. And your credit worthiness has to be established in the currency that you want to borrow. So this is how African credit rating agency will play a major role on this new capital market. We have already started 18 years ago. Bloomfield has been created. We have done great things on this continent. And now, as we go along, people realize that we need to have one capital market because size counts these days.
Why is it important to have private rating agencies?
Size meaning unity.
Rather than publicly controlled one as proposed by the African Union?
If you look at all rating agencies in the world, they're all private. This is a private business. This is not a public business because of the conflict of interest. Imagine the rating agency created by the African Union, so created by African country, will be rating African countries. It doesn't make much of a sense. And we have warned them about this, but they've gone along and done it anyway. And I think this is one of the challenges in Africa. People are too emotional. I think they wanted to react to the fact that international rating agencies,
That's black people in general, too emotional.
were biased, but this is not the best way to react. You already have private African rating agency on the continent. What the African Union should do is to reinforce the capacity of Bloomfield and Augusto to become very big rating agencies in Africa, but they don't need to create a public rating agency. It's not going to work. It's going to fail. I can guarantee you that.
Mr. Zeze, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. Thank you very much for inviting me.
A Zimbabwean inventor claims to have achieved what Nikola Tesla couldn't, harnessing radio waves from the sun to generate electricity. His groundbreaking technology powers vehicles without fuel or external charging, potentially revolutionizing renewable energy. Our reporter Keith Baptiste has the details.
A Zimbabwean inventor believes he has done what Nikola Tesla could not do. That is, create a system that can harness the power of radio waves created by the sun. The invention converts electromagnetic waves into electricity housed in a moving vehicle, be it a bike or a car.
What we are using in the cars is our technology. That we are here today, we have the first car in the world that doesn't need external recharging system. You can drive that car to your house, you can connect and power your house. Instead of drawing power from your house, it's now vice versa.
While the invention challenges the law of thermodynamics, Zimbabwe's Institute of Technology believes Maxwell may be onto something truly remarkable.
Clean and efficient energy solutions are no longer optional. They are critical. As one of the universities in this country, Harare Institute of Technology is satisfied with our relationship with SAIS Technologies.
We don't make cars, we're an energy, new and renewable energy company. We make solutions.
Go ahead.
Whilst critics
Black
have
man,
raised
that's what I'm
questions
talking
about
about.
the inventor's authenticity, Maxwell says that the cars will soon be available for people to purchase for only 15,000 United States dollars, a price that might be a bit steep for most Zimbabweans, but with it not needing to refuel, most Zimbabweans think it will be worth the buck. For Africa News, Keith Baptiste in Harare, Zimbabwe.
That's awesome. You know, it's good to see. They got some big things going on in Africa, you know. Salute them, applaud them. Do your thing over there, you know. I pray for your success. You know, and ours over here as well. It shows, you know, the brilliant minds among us that we don't need anybody else. We just need to come together in unity and see what our independence and what our unification can produce among us here in America as well. Leave your comments. Tell me what you think. And I'll leave you as I came. Peace. And remember again to please like, subscribe, and share.